What is going on, coaches? Thomas here from MyCoach Ai. And in this video today, I want to show you why you should really stop using third-party apps for things like nutrition. So like MyFitnessPal or Chronometer or any other third-party apps. If you are currently coaching clients through a certain app, but then potentially messaging them in another app and then doing their nutrition in another app, things just can get very convoluted very quickly for your clients. And we know this is one of the main pain points for a lot of online coaches and hybrid trainers is managing these different things about their offer that sometimes they think need to happen within different places. But this makes things more difficult for yourself, more difficult for clients, and housing it all in one place, especially bringing nutrition in-house, can completely change the game for you. So I quickly want to show you today how MyCoach AI does exactly that. Because before we even get started and show you anything, MyCoach AI contains full macro tracking functionality, as well as meal plans and such, but that's a story for another day. But it contains full macro tracking functionality directly within the system. So where you will see a lot of other coaching softwares maybe offering a connection to MyFitnessPal through an API or other platforms like that, it is simply connecting up to a different app, but it's still a different place for your clients to go, which is exactly the thing that we're looking to circumvent, right? And that's why bringing nutrition fully in-house, which means in this case allowing clients to track their macros in the same app as where they do their workouts and message their coach and anything like that, is just going to make things better for us as a coach, having it all under one roof. But specifically for clients, it's just going to make it so much easier. So I'm going to show you on the client side what the macro tracking functionality looks like briefly, so you understand the options. But before we do so, we first have to check out on the coach's side how easy it is to actually set up macros for any particular client, right? And that's really, really easy to do. So at any time, in order to start coaching any client on nutrition, the only and first thing that we should do is add their main macros. And we find that by going to any client at all. You just click anywhere on their profile to get to the client profile, and then you scroll down a bit until you find the client nutrition. And you can see the main macros section here. So this is the section where you can set up the base calories for this client. This is going to set the standard for them indefinitely in the future. It doesn't mean that you can't, strive away from this, doing a higher carb day or a lower calorie day, whatever, absolutely you can. Those would be custom day macros, but the main macro sets the standard for us in the way that we want to start off and, set the baseline for them to track towards. Because once again, we're not going to talk about meal plans in this video. We're talking about the macro tracking functionality, which all starts with laying out certain goals. So this is exactly what it's going to do. We pop in certain macros here, we decide on our split, and once we have saved the changes, that will automatically unlock the macro tracking functionality on the client side. And this is, of course, the goals that they are striving towards with their tracking. So here the calories and the macros in grams, that is what they're going to be tracking towards. So let's pop over to the client side to have a quick view of what that looks like for them. Now, what you will notice is not a meal plan being assigned. Oops, let me remove this real quick. You won't find a meal plan assigned, but you'll find just the macros. So this is what we're looking at today once again. So when we pop over to the client side, we can see here those macros that we assigned are under the track foods section, the exact same amount of macros and the calories, of course. When we click into it, we get to the food tracking section for this client. Now, this is something, of course, currently showing on the desktop version of things. But on the mobile, it looks very, very similar, just the rings at the top and the add food button below it. But this is now their overview to start tracking their nutrition. And notice how it happens directly within the same app, right? So the same place where they would go and review their workouts and do their check-ins, the same place where they go and message in the group chats and to you as a coach. All of that stuff is covered in the same place as where they have their nutrition tracking. That's the big game changer here. So from here, all they have to do is use the add food button to start tracking towards their macros. And they have a few different options here. Of course, a very common one is just searching up foods if you want to quickly add in a snack that you're taking or it's easy to find. What you can simply do is look up the food, of course, decide the amount and the servings, and then add that in. And it's going to automatically track towards your macros for the day. Right? What we can also do is add food with the quick add button. And this is for a case where you cannot find any foods through our scanners or searching them. If there's maybe like a one-off food that's from a different country that may not be in our database, you can just add it in yourself once, save it to My Foods, and use it indefinitely in the future as well. Okay. You can do the same with meals. That's kind of besides here, but you can build meals, of course, save those, and then use your favorite recipes in the future as well. The scanners are very important. So we have two types. We have, of course, the barcode scanner, which is just simply the barcode on the actual product where you scan that barcode and then it will recognize it and input the macros for you. Or we have a second type, which is the label scanner, which is really neat if you are traveling or have some products that may not be in our barcode database. You can simply scan the food nutrition label. It will extract all of the info from there and then put that, of course, into your tracking. So really cool little tool, very unique to MyCoach AI. And that's the main tools that you have available for tracking. Now, once again, from here, you can, of course, turn these into meals as well. If you're going to start, adding more ingredients to something to then create a meal out of it. And this is a very strange breakfast, but just to show you the idea. It will, of course, make these meals for you that you can then also save if you want to, and in the future, very easily add in once again. So macro tracking functionality is very straightforward, I would say very intuitive, and you can also work with these ingredients a lot. If you want to swap out certain ingredients, you can see all of the details, switch between cooked and uncooked values, and check out all of the macros per individual ingredient. So you have a lot of these same cool functionalities as you may have towards something like MyFitnessPal or Chronometer, but once again, directly within the system. And that's pretty much it. You can see that they can start tracking towards their goal for the day, completing the circles on their home screen to see a little preview of it as well. And their goal is simply to check all of these off, complete their circles for the day by tracking with the add food button. Once again, all completely in the exact same system. And you also saw how easy it was for us to set up as a coach, right? Because we're not now having to log into their account on a different app or look through APIs and trust that the API is giving me the right information. It all happens under the same roof. You have plenty of ways to review as a coach all of this nutrition data that comes in, which is another big benefit of having it interconnected within your same system. And that's pretty much all you need to know to understand that you should stop using third-party nutrition apps. Again, guys, and the reason I'm making this video is because we just see it being a bottleneck for coaches way too often, which is clients are not very satisfied because they have to bounce between different apps. Because of that, it takes them more time to actually complete it. It's more of a consistency hassle to constantly do day by day, and it affects their results and it affects their experience with you as a coach because you want to make things as seamless and smooth for them as possible. They still got to put in the work, but we can at least make it as easy as possible for them to do so, especially on the technology side. So that's why you should stop using third-party nutrition apps, switch to something like MyCoach AI, bring all of that in-house, do yourself and your clients a favor. And if you're not yet part of MyCoach AI, would love for you to check all of this out yourself. We got a free trial going right now, so go click the link in the description to check that out, and I'll see you in the next video.